Hi, this is Cindy.
And Michael.
From Part-Time Permies, and we have been challenged by Jennifer at Haywire Homestead to explain what we do to get closer to our food. This was actually covered a bit in our intro to our channel because everything we do on our channel has to do with what we do on property to get closer to our food, as far as growing and raising chickens and cooking and foraging and a lot of fun stuff with that, which we try to document as much as possible. And what we're trying to do is raise at least half of our own food on property. We're just getting going and we're just showing our successes and our failures as we go. We have chickens, we have a garden, we go foraging. My husband's a chef, so sometimes he does cooking videos. We also sometimes have friends come over to our house to help us process our chicken. Mike has a business that is to make pasta and sells pastas to the local community, so a small local business. And today we are actually going to a friend's house to help him process some of his animals, his pigs, which we will have in another video in more detail. But we are meeting a few other channels at his house, and there's going to be a bunch of us getting together. So I will also ask them what they do to get closer to their food, because that's a good question. It's kind of what we're all, part of the reason why we're all doing what we're doing on our channels.
I got a little pocket.
Hey guys, I was asked to do a little collaboration with Haywire Homestead. They're actually releasing it today, but I got an extension on what you do to be closer to your food. Do you guys want to like put a little thing in that on my video?
Yeah, this is about
what do you do?
as food as you can get right here. I snuggle my pig.
You snuggle your pigs.
You want some too? Huh? Come on. Once in a while things are going if our pigs are butchered, but it totally grosses her out. She's like, I just get my food from the grocery store.
Oh my gosh, them in the van.
That's what we've come to. She knows where food comes from.
She knows, but she doesn't want to know. But to be honest, 4 years ago, before we moved out and we started doing all this, I mean, yes, I know a chicken's a chicken, it gets killed and it's in the supermarket, but you don't really think about it. You just go to the supermarket, pick up a chicken, and
well, the factory farms have taken us so far away from us. There are entire generations that don't have any connection. You were talking earlier about how do you get close to your food.
But the only reason the factory farms have gotten to that point is because that's where people want things. They don't want to be doing that.
Well, yeah, they drove the wedge in,
right? Yeah,
and then once it's far enough out, then they're glad to fill in that.
Part of that book I'm reading is what did farmers do?
Only 75 years ago.
Yeah, that's it.
They didn't have a place to go buy grain every weekend. Their animals survived on their land. They said, you know, farmers, they did it. And how did they do that? But they found some college on the East Coast went and found all these old 75-year-old farmers' journals. Yeah. And they started copying these all down and putting them in a big, whatever, you know, where you could pull them all up. So they've got this whole history of how people farmed and you know, what they fed their animals, what they fed this and that. And so
driving a tractor supply, buying a bag of chicken food is that's not it. It's not the whole name of the game. Now, if you're working a 40-hour job and doing the other stuff, and that's the thing that gets you the step there.
What? It's still better than buying chicken from the store, or better than buying pork from the store.
Yeah, but if you only plant one apple tree, and that's the thing that knocks your feed bill down just that little bit, and you're one step closer to.
Yeah,
that's like that. All that corn and sunflowers I grew this year, I kept feeding it to the pigs. Not the Indian corn so much, but the sunflowers. I planted so many sunflowers. The kids every single day would go grab 5 stalks, thinning it out, and go feed it to the pigs. Yep. I don't think it helped on my feed bill, I'll be honest. I really don't.
Oh yeah.
But you know. But that's a step. It's still a step.
What did it cost you to plant those sunflowers?
Nothing, because I saved them from the year before. And that's one of those steps. It's a step to get.
When you sweeten the meat with the apples and the fruit, but when you give them the sunflowers, you're changing the omegas and you're changing the quality. So you're making your hogs more like slightly more like a grass-fed style versus a soy corn.
Right.
So you're actually balancing your quality of your meat.
So
And you know, it's even like something simple like sourdough. We're at the what is it? The open class at the Hillsdale County Fair, the open class building or whatever. And I walked in there and they had all the jams and jellies from adults and kids, not 4-H. And I was like, you guys got any sourdough in here? And the lady's like, somebody submitted sourdough over here. So I went and looked, and it looked almost like out of the store almost, is what it looked like. And she goes, oh, and this person got the whatever the commercial yeast is, Red Star yeast.
Yeah.
Oh, they got the Red Star yeast too. So if you submit it and you put all your ingredients and you kind of prove, then you might be able to win the Red Star yeast also. I told the lady, who was well older than me.
Yeah.
Well older than me. And then there's an even older couple in there also. I was like, well, I don't use yeast in my sourdough bread. And she and her face just drained of blood. And she was like, what? And then this older couple, even older than this lady, walk up there like, you don't put yeast in your bread? I was like, well, no.
This guy's a wizard.
And so I had
Put a spell on it.
I had this great conversation with them for like 20 minutes talking about sourdough.
Commercial tradition.
And they're like, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Traditional bread should look like the bread that Stefan brought. It should not be white. It should be tan.
But you lied to them. I mean, you do put some yeast.
You put lots of yeast in there.
I don't. Mother Nature lets it fall in.
Yeah, exactly.
But I super appreciate y'all coming and helping scrape, and all I had to do was dump water, right, Stefan?